What's up everyone, welcome to this vintage color rack for Ableton Live Suite. Today I'm going to show you exactly how this thing works, the different parameters that it's got, show you some of the presets that are included, and also show you how it can sort of sound on different sort of sounds from like acids, bass, pads, percussion, full tracks, and more. So let's get straight into the video. Okay, so this is the vintage color rack. So what I've got loaded up here is just a different number of sounds that I might want to use it on, or that you might want to use it on. And I'm going to go through some of the different parameters. The first sound that I've got loaded up in here is just an acid sound from the acid rack on the website as well. If you want to check that out, you can do that. But I'm just going to play this acid sound for you. 1 second. So that's coming from the acid rack. Now, the vintage color rack actually slightly changes it the second that it's turned on. There's a tiny little pitch drift there going on in the background to kind of give it that little bit of sort of analog sort of feel. So if I just turn it off, this is with it off. On. So it's a very, very small amount, and you can turn this off if you don't want it. But again, it's designed to just be a small amount. I'll show you in the download pack as well how you go about turning that off for any of you that want to know how to do that. But it's such a small amount, it's just to give those little inconsistencies. Okay, so what have we got here? We've got, let's go through some of the presets to start off with. So if we hit this little dial here, we've got the rack reset, which will just take it back to its initiated state. Now let's go through some of the presets as it's playing. So there's a lot of presets in there to kind of get you started that kind of vary from little tiny changes to really drastic aggressive things. So let's just go now into the actual parameters. Let's just go in and have a look at the reset it here. Now, what we have here, we've got crackle follow, which is basically like a randomized crackle there, which can give that sort of vinyl sort of texture to it. Now, crackle follow will actually only play once the note is hit. So as soon as the note hits, it will stop. If I just do this for you, show you 1 second, turn it up. So it's not continuously playing. If you're wanting a continuous sort of vinyl crackle, we've got this one here, the crackle continued. So that's going to continuously play there with the crackle. We've got them two. We've also got this wow here. So if I turn this up, this is the amount. If I just play this again. So they're not there to be really kind of drastic, but it can give that little bit of movement to it. Now, the way that I've set this up is I've gone through a lot of the parameters here to try and make sure that that random button is also very useful, and rather than just completely destroying sounds. So some of these are limited. You can go in and change them if you want to in the back end, but I've kind of set this up and spent a lot of time kind of testing different sound through it to kind of really get it at that sweet spot. So this is the wow rate and the wow amount. Then we have the flutter amount. I'll just play one note here to make it a little bit more audible. So I think this personally works best in small amounts to really kind of give it that sort of oldish sort of flavor to it. We then have a distortion. So the way the distortion works, you've got your amount here, and then you've got the different distortion types. Now, the distortion types, there isn't one for every single number. It's, I think, about 5 or 6 different types, but the best way to kind of cycle through them is to play the sound, the amount up, and then you can cycle through the different types of distortion there. Then we have the Atmos. It's going to add a bit of nice atmosphere to your sound. Then we have cabinet amount and the cabinet type. This is going to give it that real sort of oldish sort of feel to the sound. And same thing again with the cabinet type. It isn't one for every single number. You just cycle through, and I think there's about 4 or 5 in there as well. The random is going to randomize a number of different parameters in the background, from volume to reverbs and stuff like that. So if I just... the random isn't actually in the actual random button selection either, so that's just there for you to dial up. If I hit the random here, a lot of it will randomize, but the low pass, resonance, and the high pass filter will not, as well as the random. So I've just removed them out of it so that you're not constantly getting drastic changes, but we can also go through here and just hit this random button as well and find some nice sounds that work with that. So again, from really drastic, and you might have to go in and change some of the parameters slightly just to suit your sound, but this works really kind of nice if you're not kind of gotten much inspiration, or you just wanted to have a little play around. Really kind of fun. What else do we have here? So we've got the distortion type, and then we have the chorus as well. So chorus there. Now, as I said, these work really well, I feel, when you're doing little amounts of each sound. So if I was to go in here now and just kind of really kind of bring some extra depth and some extra life into your sounds there. So let's have a little look at it on some different sounds. Okay, so here I have just a quick riff coming from the Leads and Plucks rack. That's also available on the website if you want to check that out. So simple riff there. Now again, got the vintage color rack on there. Now let's go through some presets and have a little listen to what's there, see what it can kind of do to this sort of sound. Some nice sort of presets there. Let's have a little look at it on a bass. Okay, so we have a simple bass patch here. Let's in this one actually go in and actually dial some in ourselves rather than looking through the presets. Feel free to go through the presets yourself, but let's have a little look, see what we can do. Now, the low pass and high pass filters will actually also only turn on as and when you activate them by bringing them up or down. So just bear that in mind. Again, getting some nice sort of textures there to the sound. Let's have a little look at it on a pad. So this is a simple pad patch that I've got here. Little wobble works nice on that one, just to kind of give that a little bit of extra movement. And you can obviously use these as well as kind of like a bandpass filter if you like. Taking off the highs and the lows. Okay, let's try it on a percussion loop. So just a simple percussion loop here. Open up some presets and have a little listen on here. There's some nice textures there to your percussion. And let's also show you on a full track as well. Okay, so what I've got here is just a little track of mine. I'm going to show you how you could somewhat use this possibly on your own full track. Obviously, this can be used on separate channels, buses, whatever you want. But I'm going to show you a little few things that you could possibly do here as well with it. It's not just, just for adding a bit of flavor in there. You could also have a track playing and use it as kind of like a bit of a transition thing, right? So if you find a nice preset that you like, for example, let's find one out of here. Let's maybe use Chewy, for example. Now you could use it as a bit of a transition sort of technique. So you automate this on or off. So during the transition, obviously find one that works best for your track. Let's have a listen to Chewy instead. Or you could simply use it as just a filter. So you could have it on and then, different things like that. The other thing you can possibly use it for as well is if you turn up the crackle continue and turn up the atmosphere. And don't play a sound through it, so you just had the actual channel playing itself and then either turned it on or off, automated it. You can have it as like a bit of a background atmosphere sound as well, crackles and sort of, pops like that. So multiple different things that you can do with it. As I say, it's best, I feel, when you're just doing tiny little amounts, so just kind of take away that digital sort of cold sound from your sounds. So be sure to check it out on the website. Thanks a lot for watching.